Hey everyone, it's Jessica here with another 30 Days of Sketches sketch. Today is day 2 with my sketch today. And I actually had a completely different vision for this layout, but then I pulled out this pre-made mixed media paper by Vicki Boutin and just fell in love with it. I thought, you know what, I can totally make this work with my sketch. Originally I was going to do my own mixed media in my layout, and I just decided not to do that because I love this background. So I'm pulling out the Let's Go collection by Simple Stories, and I've got the mini paper pad here that I have just pulled out 3 papers from and cut down into my strips for my sketch design, and then I'm going to round all the corners. I originally started with these at full size. I think they were 6 inches long, I believe, by like 2 inches, but then I actually ended up grabbing some vellum here, which you'll see in a second, and layering vellum on top to just tone those down a little bit, because I just felt like those patterns on top of the blue mixed media was just a little bit harsher than what I was going for. So I decided to put vellum over that to just kind of tone them down a little bit. I'm gonna grab my Tim Holtz tiny attacher and attach these to the pattern papers. I'm not gonna glue it or anything because I don't want the adhesive to show through, even though some of that is going to be covered up by my photo. But I have my strips here already cut, and just grabbing my stapler and making sure all my corners are rounded. I do love that Zutter corner rounder because you can round corners on all of these layers at the same time and it'll cut through them all, which I just absolutely love. I did end up trimming them down a little bit because I wanted them a little bit smaller to make as much of that mixed media peek through as possible. So I just cut them down, I think by like another inch or so. And then here I'm just attaching that with my stapler. I am offsetting it just a little bit, so some of that full pattern paper design kind of peeks through on the edge there. And then there's my photo. I'm using this photo of my 2 little guys while we were camping, and they were riding their bikes around the camping loop. They are big enough now that they can ride the loop on their own, and we can see them the whole time from our campsite. So they just love kind of having that little sense of independence and being able to do the little loop out on their own, and it's just adorable. So I've got that photo that I'm using here today, and I'm just going to line up all of these elements here using my T-square roller, and then I've grabbed a border die from Hey Little Magpie. It's a little cute scallop edge, and I'm adding that to the left side of my photo. I used my Big Shot to cut that out, and then I'm pulling out this Color Cast Design acrylic piece. It's just perfect for this. I love this orange kind of color. It's like a corally type of orange, and it just goes perfect with the orange of my son's bike and that orange paper that I've pulled out. And then this Catherine Polar stamp and die set I have been dying to use. I specifically bought this stamp set for this bike. I love this cute little bike. I think it's adorable, but it did take a little bit of a learning curve to figure this out and how to stamp the elements on here. The tires and the bike frame and the seat and the little hand grip, everything is separate, which I really love, but I didn't put it into play that I probably should have cut the die first before I stamped everything, because the angle of the seat and the hand grip just wasn't quite right whenever I stamped it, and I figured that out whenever I went to go and cut it out with my die. So I ended up trying to cut it out to see if it worked, but it didn't, and then I ended up just cutting it again, and here's just white. I'm gonna grab my new this is like a stamp platform. It's a sticky mat, and I love this. I just got it in the mail by Gina K a couple projects ago, because that's how I measure time. A couple projects ago, so like last week, and I love it. It's your paper just sticks right down to the sticky mat, and then you can stamp or do whatever you need to do, and it's just perfect. So I loved using it to stamp this little bike. Since I already cut the die out, it was easy. It stayed in place while I was stamping, and of course I'm using my clear stamp block so I can see through them to do all this stamping. And I'm making the bike orange to match my one son's bike. I think they actually both have some orange on it, so it worked out good. And then the basket I didn't really necessarily want, and I could have have just trimmed it off, but it's kind of funny that my kids' bikes don't have baskets on them here, but later, I think it's actually probably the same camping trip or maybe the next time we went, they actually did have baskets because they requested baskets for their bikes, and we had put them on, and my mother actually helped get them for them, and she helped zip tie the one to my one son's bike. So it was super funny that this little stamped bike set had a little basket on there because they ended up with baskets. And then of course they cart around their little toys and their little stuffed animals in there, and they love it. I've got this little sheet of puffy stickers here from this collection that I'm using, as well as the sticker book and the chipboards. I'm just going to add a few embellishments on here, nothing too crazy. I wanted that mixed media to peek out and that title acrylic and the little bike to really shine on this layout. So I'm not going to overwhelm it with a ton of stuff today. I know that's kind of out of my norm. Usually I am a very, very heavy embellisher, but I wanted to keep to my sketch design and kind of let that shine, so I'm not going to add a ton to it. I did really love this ticket and wanted to incorporate that. It says ticket to ride, and I just thought that was perfect for this layout because that's exactly what they're doing, and they're just so excited to ride their bikes. So I've got that on there, and then these little plus signs I'm going to put on there as well. I just want to add my date stamp down here at the bottom, and I just love the way that acrylic piece looks. I just think it's so cool, and it's just adorable. The colors are just perfect for this layout, and that orange and that kind of corally color, I just love it. And here I'm just popping up these little plus signs with some 3D foam squares by Gina K. And then I'm just going to add, of course, some little wordy bits at the bottom. That's kind of my standard and typical thing that I always do on my layouts if you're new here. If you are new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button so you're notified of future videos I post. I post a lot of projects, including a lot of mixed media projects, some mini albums, my travel notebook from time to time, and also my Stop the Blur planner, my memory planner album from time to time as well. So yeah, if you're new here, feel free to stick around. I would love to have you here on my channel. I will link the playlist below for the 30 days of sketches where all the creators are playing along, and I'll also link the Facebook group for the 30 days of sketches as well, where you can see all the sketches and you can post your take there as well if you want to play along. So I'm just finishing this up, just adding a couple little hearts on here, and I'm going to add these cute little word phrases. I'm going to add one there, kind of make sure that's straight underneath my title, and then I'm going to add a few here at the bottom. I really love the way that this is looking and coming together. I love the way that that mixed media just kind of peeks out around there, and you can see the little gold foily bits on there. That's a pre-made mixed media background by Vicki Boutin. It's in one of her mixed media paper pads that she sells, and I just love pulling those out from time to time to just have a super quick layout that's already good to go. So here's what the finished result looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed this process today. I hope I've inspired you to create something, and I hope you have time to play along with this sketch today. So thank you guys so much for being here, and have a great day. Bye-bye.